Well, he's being cute.
Are we live?
You missed it.
What?
Now it's just his tail.
Oh. Hilo, are we live?
It's still pretty cute. Hilo was being cute, and then we turned the cameras on, and he stopped.
Do we even remember how to do these anymore? We said this yesterday, but the LEGO live streams are so much more chill that... There he is. Hi, buddy.
There you are. You gonna be a cutie?
Oh boy.
I remember how to stream. I remember.
He just wants my beer. You can't have it. You can't have it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to LEGO live streams.
Hilo got used to us not streaming for a while, and now he's
oh
upset
yeah,
that
he's
we're
like,
back
"What are
into
you
that."
doing? Come downstairs and sleep on the couch with me." But yes, we're back. I think we did a good job yesterday with our first live stream back, and now this is our first LEGO AMA stream back.
Let's see how it goes.
And he just laid down. Good boy.
I'm gonna give you all of this so you can make Jyn.
Yay.
Did you not know what that was?
It took me a second because I saw the hair
Yeah.
and the face, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Who? What?"
He can be unmasked Jyn if you want him to be. But that's up to you.
Ooh.
I put in the description so everyone can watch me try to not miss a step, and they can watch you try not to drop anything.
Well, we know both of those things are going to happen.
It's a new year, it's a new me. I'm not going to miss any steps.
Oh, cool. Andy says that our card arrived there yesterday.
Oh, good. Man, we sent that a while ago.
Well,
But
I've never
to go to Australia.
I've never mailed anything to Australia before, so I was like, I hope this is right with stamps and everything, but I'm glad you got it. Bradshaw Studios, what's up? Thanks for joining the Biggs Mega Fans. We gotta think of a better name for
No,
that.
we don't. What's wrong with it?
I just put his hair on and tried to put his helmet on over it. I was like, why is this so small? His hair is very coiffed in his little minifig.
It's always looking perfect. Except for that time in season 1 where he got messed up.
I mean, technically he should always have helmet hair, right?
You'd think so, but Pedro Pascal is perfect.
What's up, Solid Brick Studios?
Hey!
Alex was talking about you talking about this set the other day. So,
Solid Bricks, if you don't know Solid Bricks, he's a LEGO YouTuber. Not just Star Wars, but does a lot of Star Wars. And he ranked this, I think it was your 3rd favorite set of the year, but your favorite Star Wars set for sure. So that, I saw that video that you put out, and I was like, our UCS Razor Crest is getting here tomorrow.
that bodes well. Yeah,
I'm excited to build it.
We've had this for a few weeks, and we've managed not to break into it until today.
I like starting the new year with a nice big set. I think we started last year with the AT-AT. It just feels right.
Yeah. Although, maybe I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this with these UCS sets, but like, they're all big and gray. I say it every time we get a new one. It's just a big gray set. But then again, like, that's just a lot of Star Wars things that are big and gray.
Star Wars is big and gray.
Big and black. So I don't know. I want a UCS set that's got a bunch of color in it.
A bunch of like, give us like Anakin and Sebulba's Pod Racer. I know they did that as that was one of the first LEGO sets I ever got back in 99 or 98.
As a UCS, that would be awesome.
That would be cool. Do something like that where we can get a lot of color. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I actually did see that mention like an hour ago again while I was catching up on your stream. Nice.
Well, we'll keep saying it.
I'm having to remember how to put capes on now.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
I got it.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
I
Look
did
at
it.
you.
Look at me.
New year, new us.
New year, new us. So we're gonna be kind of naming these streams more along the lines of "Ask Us Anything," like this says. So we're kind of going more towards an AMA style thing, but that's always kind of what it's
always been the case. It's just
we're just calling it that now.
Make sure everyone knows they can ask us questions.
Yeah.
While I sit here, and I'll answer them until I get confused by the set, and I stop and I have to squint and figure it out.
Yeah. Right. Johnny C. Books and Comics said at least you used the initials and not the very pretentious actual name. I didn't realize what UCS stood for until the other day I heard him say it out loud, and I was like, oof, that sounds...
What is it? The Ultimate Collector Series.
Ultimate.
What did you think it stood for?
It just caught me off guard.
What did you think it stood for?
I don't know. I thought UCS was just UCS.
So they just threw a random set of letters in front of...
I don't know. Man, I wish there was a way to bring up super chats like we can in StreamYard here. But anyways, let's get into our first super chat of the night from D-Train. Thank you, D-Train. Since you guys did an after show for Rings of Power, are you considering doing an after show for The Last of Us? We are 9 days away and I'm excited. I mean, we did do... How many episodes of an after show did we do for Rings of Power?
I think we could only do... I want to say we did 3.
So, like, for the teaser, maybe for the first one and the last one? Or was it the last 2?
Well, we did some stuff in the lead up to it, but then we just got busy. It premiered while everyone that was going to be on the show was at Dragon Con. And then I forget what else we had to do the rest of September. But basically it was just... We could not, all 3 of us, find the time to sit down and talk about it until the last couple episodes. I'm so psyched for Pedro Pascal's other show where he protects a child in the wilderness, but
right.
I'm probably just gonna watch that for me. I love the Last of Us games. If anyone else wants to invite me on to talk about it, I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably not gonna do and explain it to me for every episode. I'm just gonna watch it and enjoy it and be like, that was great.
Right. Yeah, this is going to be kind of a busy year for us with all the various Star Wars shows coming out, so I don't think we'll have time to do a dedicated show. However, we haven't really worked out the details, but I also do another show called A Certain Point of View. Used to be about the Schmodown. Schmodown's over. Now we just talk about TV, movies, whatever we want. But a couple of us over there are talking about covering The Last of Us. So we might cover it there if you're looking for my thoughts. Because
well, if you want to invite me on for an episode or 2, I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely plan to do that. Because I've played little bits and pieces of the game, and I've watched him play bigger bits and pieces of the game. So I know very generally the story, but I need a refresher probably. So
The Last of Us is one of my favorite games, so I'm really psyched about the show. I'd be happy to talk about it while we build Lego sets. It's kind of fitting. We have Pedro Pascal here anyway. We'll just pretend he's Joel and Grogu is Ellie and Kuil is Tess.
Yeah.
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here. It works out perfectly. Brent Bums standing by asked, is Pedro a daddy? And Andy said the correct answer, he's the daddy.
The daddy. I believe he was asked that on one of the Vanity Fair lie detector tests, and he said he was a daddy. So yeah. Daddy confirmed.
Daddy status confirmed. Commando Unit has the next super chat. Longtime lurker here. Love the channel and Happy New Year. Oh, thanks.
Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to you as well.
What are the odds that Saw uses Borgullet on Luthen in Andor Season 2? Are we going to get Borgullet?
It'd be fun to see Borgullet Origins.
Borgullet!
Borgullet!
I can't do the Saw voice very well.
Just got to make it really raspy, like you can barely talk anymore. Lies.
Nice.
Deceptions.
What does he do?
All of it.
All of it. That's interesting. Yeah, I would love to know how he came across Borgullet, and is he paying Borgullet? Does he get like a paycheck and benefits, or is he a prisoner? I hope not.
No, I think he's a member of the Partisans.
They have like a mutual.
And they feed him snacks through memories.
Yeah, they have a mutual agreement.
When Borgullet appeared in Rogue One, that was my like, what the hell is this moment? I was not a Borgullet fan. Really, all of the Saw Gerrera stuff in Rogue One, the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know about any of this. I wasn't crazy about it. Now that I've settled with it, especially now that we've spent so much time with Saw Gerrera, and I understand the characters so much more now. If they brought Borgullet back, I'd be all for it.
You know what? That actually sounds like something Tony Gilroy would hear about and be just curious enough to be like, yeah, I want to do that. Let's get into that.
Well, it's like, I wonder if... I don't know how the whole change of Rogue One happened. I imagine they changed quite a bit about Saw Gerrera's story, so Borgullet potentially could be a Tony Gilroy creation. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Because originally Saw was going to be... just based off of like some of the behind the scenes stuff where we saw Partisans on Scarif, I assumed Saw was going to be part of that entire story. And then they were reworking it and they kill him off on Jeddah. I think that was a development that happened maybe during reshoots.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, maybe Borgullet happened during reshoots as well. Or maybe he was part of the story the whole time. I don't know.
Either way, I think that would be really interesting to see Borgullet period in Andor, but I don't know that he would be using it on Luthen. But that'd be crazy if he did. As paranoid
as he is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put it past him.
I don't think he would, because I think it was supposed to be like a special circumstance that Bodhi survived after that and like didn't go absolutely crazy and stay crazy.
Huh, but that's a good point though.
Or like, maybe Luthen just goes crazy and stays crazy.
We don't know what happens to Luthen. And we also, haven't seen... The Rogue One novelization does a great job, and the comic book, actually, the comic adaptation by Jody Houser. Both of them do a really good job of getting into Bodhi's head and what happened to him thanks to Borgullet. It would be interesting to see that on screen, since they didn't really do it in Rogue One. Not saying that it has to happen to Luthen, but...
It would definitely give Saw even more of an upper hand if word got out that he had Borgullet, that he would sick on you and...
He's gonna get you.
Sick him.
And then he slowly slithers over, like, I'm gonna get you.
You gotta be tied up for him to get you.
It's in Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny, when Tim Robbins' character is like, stay right there, I'm gonna stab you. You're like, no. Run away.
Someone asked... Mike Who Cheese Harry asked what I'm drinking because it's making... What?
Nothing.
What I'm drinking because it's making him thirsty. I am drinking 3 Taverns, a Night on Ponce IPA. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking New Belgium Hop Raider IPA. It's become my new streaming beer because it's got an Indiana Jones skeleton on it.
Yeah, I hope they keep making that, because you got it once thinking it was like a special edition, and the cans are really cool. Just Google Hop Raider IPA if you want to see.
It's so far back. But...
Yeah.
And a glare from the light.
Yeah, we're being IPA buddies tonight. We're
basic.
We're so basic. We're so predictable as white people. I've actually, like, I don't know about IPAs anymore. I can have one and then that's about it. But that goes for like most beers, unless I've made the conscious decision to just drink a lot of beer.
You gotta psych yourself up for it.
I gotta eat real light the rest of the day.
That's not right.
Oh, did you already mess up?
No, I haven't messed up yet. I just know that I saw what I was about to do, and I said, that's not right, and I fixed it.
Darth Wick has the next super chat. Thank you. Hey guys, love your vids. Do you think social media exists in Star Wars, and would the Jedi/Sith have one?
I'm trying to think if we've ever seen an example of it, especially in like Servants of the Empire when it was a straight up high school story. I'm going to say no social media in Star Wars.
I think at some point there would be some. Or maybe it's probably not as big of a deal as it is on Earth or whatever this plane of existence is.
That would be funny if the Jedi visited a planet where social media existed and they were like, "What's this now?" And they're like, "We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
We're just gonna leave you to your apocalypse."
Spacer V pointed out they had the HoloNet, which is the internet
Right.
basically. So I don't know. Let's say there is social media.
I kind of want to explore what that would look like.
I would like to imagine the Jedi Academy like had their own platform that they used, but like no one really used it, and it's still
They tried. The Jedi were trying to be hip.
Yeah.
And they introduced their own social media.
Do you remember when Facebook the status updates were your name and it's like is blank?
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So they still have it up as insert Jedi here. Obi-Wan is
Meditating.
feeling frisky
Oh.
today.
Yeah. Thinking about Satine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I almost want to say instead of, I don't know, was AIM social media? No, I don't think so.
No, that's just instant messaging.
But I think they had instant messaging.
Yeah.
And they all had very cryptic, like, music lyrics in
Sure.
their away messages. And
So just lop T neck. And everyone's like, totally.
totally. He needs a hug.
Aw. I imagine that Palpatine would have had 2 social media accounts, and he would he'd basically have his Palpatine like, "Hey everyone, just look at me doing something great politically, like I'm out at a soup kitchen volunteering," and then he's got his Darth Sidious account where he just can't help but tweet about what evil thing he did. But then one day he forgets to swap accounts, and he's like, "Just started a war on my home planet, lol."
Lol. Lol rip.
And it ruins his plans. I like that, lol rip.
I do love that.
I want to see how social media ruins Star Wars.
Jane says Anakin keeps liking Padme's posts at 3 a.m. and then unliking them. There's a lot of potential there with social media and the Jedi and the Sith. But yeah, I think I like your Palpatine story. I don't know what the other Sith would tweet about, just like
Maul would tweet
Gonna-
like only angsty lyrics, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Maul would have these like huge paragraphs about how he's gonna get revenge, and it would be very wordy and
Nimic doesn't tweet unless it's a 30-part thread.
yeah. Nimic only tweets in threads.
Aunt Beru, all of her tweets are like accidental Googles. She's like, blue milk recipes. That's or where to hide your guns. How to plaster over a hidden blaster.
That's hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually tweet something that they're trying to search in the search bar.
Oh, it's definitely
it
happened.
Yeah, I can imagine that happening. Let's see. Next up, we've got... This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
Speaking of Rogue One,
Yeah.
a while back.
Now that Cassian got his own show, Do you think Jyn can get her own show? P.S. Keep up the awesome work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's interesting. I mean, then you start to bump into publishing, because a lot of her story has been told thanks to Rebel Rising and Catalyst. Catalyst covers kind of her birth and young life, and then Rebel Rising covers from basically her time after Jyn Erso was taken back all the way up to Rogue One. So you'd have to adapt that story or make a bunch of nerds angry if you did a Jyn show. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure you could find some part of her life to, like, let's squeeze a season in here, because I mean that book covers years and years. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it covers everything.
I don't know. I think Rogue One was the Jyn show. I mean Cassian was pretty high up on the...
He was second billed, I think.
Billing, yeah. But I'd say Jyn was the main character, and so I don't think she would get her own show, because we got the story of most of her life in Rogue One, and then she perished, unfortunately. So I just think there was a lot more to explore for Andor.
Well, and I think you'd be covering a lot of similar ground. Different character, but it's still... Well, I guess that's not true, because Andor is the story of how Cassian became radicalized, and Jyn's story is kind of the opposite of how you become apathetic, and then Rogue One is how she became radicalized. Mm-hmm. So I guess there's enough thematic difference there, but I think people would be like, oh, we're just doing another Rogue One prequel if they announced that.
Yeah. Spacer V in the chat said that the Death Star would be an Imperial Kickstarter, which I kind of find very, very funny. Uh-huh. And their first stretch goal is we blow up Alderaan. So
oh, no.
That makes sense. I love that. Yeah. I don't think there's much more to tell for Jyn.
I'm sure there could be, but I don't want them to fall into a rut of like, ooh, Cassian worked. What other... Let's do the Baze and Chirrut show next. I love Baze and Chirrut.
Hang on now.
I love them, but I don't want them to just keep repeating the same thing over and over.
If they did something like The Path, they could explore The Path, but also they could talk about the Guardians of the Wills and like who they are, how many of them are there, stuff like that. So that could be how we get to know those characters a little more. You'll like this one.
I was going to say just that, to me, the lesson of Andor is like, keep experimenting. Keep doing unexpected things where everyone's like, we're doing a show about that guy from Rogue One. This is going to be dumb. And then it defies everyone's expectations and is very good. Like, keep doing stuff that we don't expect. And it's not all going to work, but when it does, it's so good.
When it does, it does.
It really does.
Skywalker 7791, thank you so much for the super chat. Hello, just joined the stream and was wondering what your thoughts were on the new Indiana Jones movie that's coming out.
I'm excited.
You guys can't see it, but hanging on the wall right here is a giant Raiders of the Lost Ark poster signed by the whole cast. So Alex may like Indiana Jones just a little bit.
Also, right behind you, you probably can't see the move.
The fertility idol.
Yeah, we've got the idol. We have the Ark downstairs. Got a lot of Indiana Jones stuff. But yeah, that autograph poster was one of the first gifts you gave me.
Yeah, and I've never been able to top it.
But I don't know, you got me that, and I knew you loved me.
No, I was like, oh, this will be easy to buy him gifts. Indiana Jones, Star Wars.
Oh yeah, it's real simple.
They make so much stuff.
Yeah, Dial of Destiny. I'm all for it so far. I'm just a big Indiana Jones fan. Like, I'm one of those people that I don't love Crystal Skull. I also don't hate it. I just kind of I watch it sometimes, and for the first half, I'm like, this isn't so bad. And by the end, I'm like, I'm kind of ready for this to be over. But I don't hate it the way some people do. But even if it were awful, I would still be excited for another indie adventure. It's very much like Star Wars for me, where, you know, not every story is great, but I love the universe. I love the character. Let's try again.
Let's give it another try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm not as into the indie stories as he is, but I enjoy the movies. I kind of feel the same about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I could take it or leave it. It's got some really cheesy parts, but so do the other ones. I mean, Temple of Doom has a bunch of cheesy stuff in it too, but I'm excited. The de-aging stuff looks really good for that one little split second that we saw in the trailer. Dial of Destiny sounds really intriguing.
I like that title.
Like, indie movies just do such a good job at like getting really pulpy sounding titles. But the time travel aspect is very intriguing. I hope
we don't know that that's a thing.
it could be a flashback.
I do. Yeah.
The de-aging thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Dial of Destiny just sounds like something that would involve time travel, and that can get dicey.
Yes. I'm not wild about time travel in the film, but I keep telling myself that, you know, for the most part in an Indiana Jones film, nothing crazy happens until the end. Like, the Ark doesn't get opened until the last 5 minutes. Temple of Doom, yeah, you have some supernatural stuff in the middle. But Last Crusade is pretty grounded. Even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I won't call swinging through the vines with all the monkeys grounded, but like nothing crazy happens until the very end. So if they do something time travel-y, it's probably not going to be a significant part of the movie. Like, I don't want the whole thing to be, oh, Indiana Jones went back in time in Act 1 and has to fight his way back to the future. Like, no, I don't want that.
No, I don't think de-aged Indy is going to be a huge part, like, is going to have that much screen time, because that would be difficult and cost a lot of money.
I think that what we saw, the de-aging, I think that's probably the opening sequence of the film. I think that'll be the stealing the fertility idol, or the diamond in Temple of Doom, or basically the flashback in Last Crusade. Like, we're just going back to younger Indy to inform the story, and then we're going to go to present day. I think that's probably what we're going to see, what the de-aging is about, mostly.
Mm-hmm. When does that come out?
May 30th? Or June 30th.
Of this year?
Yeah, it's this year.
Nice.
It's May or June 30th. It's the 30th of a month, and it's in the middle of the year.
I want to say it was June.
I think it's June now that I say it.
Because I remember Harrison Ford. We were lucky enough to be in the room for the Lucasfilm panel at Celebration, and when Harrison Ford came up on stage, obviously everybody lost their minds, but they started playing the indie music, and he mentioned the date, and I want to say it was June.
Well, he also, the way he read the date out, he said it very slowly, which I think, looking back, he was just trying to remember it and get it right. But he was like, June 30th, 2020. And I was like, is he about to say 2021? Like, are we about to be a month away from
and it's gonna
Indiana
play
Jones
right
5?
now.
And then he went, 2. I was like, okay.
23.
3, yeah.
Star has the next super chat. Thank you, Star. Since he didn't know about the control chips, does Echo know of Five's fate? Would he hold a grudge over Rex for not believing Fives until Order 66?
Mm-hmm. I hope Rex... I'm going to assume for now that on the whole Braca mission, at some point, Rex would have told Echo everything. Or even before... Oh, wait. No, it would have had to have been then.
Yeah, I imagine they filled him in on everything.
Because Echo and Fives were so close. He deserves to know that. So my hope is that he would have been told. I don't think he's going to hold a grudge against Rex. I mean, it's a lot to take in. And I feel like Rex never got the full story. And Rex did try to help Fives.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. But I also just don't want the clones to be mad at each other.
We never want them to be mad at each other. Yeah, that'll be... I don't know if they would go into that or not, but I think Echo knows everything leading up to now. Darth Nicholas has the next super chat. Forgive me if this question has been asked in the past, but what are the odds of Finn Rao, Rook Cast, and Sabine Wren appearing in Mando Season 3? I think Sabine is a pretty solid yes.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
I
The other
don't want to
ones?
say,
I don't
like,
know.
oh, that's definitely happening, but it seems like their MO, the Mandoverse, introduce a character, bring him into other projects. They did it with Boba Fett. They did it with Cobb Vanth. They did it with Bo-Katan, Ahsoka. All of these characters, I think, are going to appear in more and more things. So, considering Sabine will definitely be in Ahsoka, it makes sense that they would introduce her in The Mandalorian. Not to mention she is a Mandalorian.
Yeah. Finn Rao and Rook Cast.
Finn Rao, I would like a lot. He was kind of the Mandalorian from Star Wars Rebels that helped Sabine out with the Darksaber. Played by Kevin McKidd, I think, who is a live action actor in several things as well. So it could be, I think they're doing that a lot more, is like, let's cast some of these parts with people who can play them in live action potentially.
Yeah, just so, just in case. But yeah, I mean, if they got Katie Sackhoff back to do Bo-Katan, I don't see why not. That'd be awesome.
Rook Cast, I don't know what happened to her. I like that everyone, with good reason, I was on that train too. Everyone was like, is Rook Cast Sabine Wren's mother? Because she was part of Maul's Death Watch. She is in Clone Wars Season 7. So I assume she was arrested, but so was Gar Saxon, and he got let loose.
He got let loose.
Let loose. So I assume she is still around somewhere. But she's a lesser known character. Not that everyone knows who Sabine is right now. Most Star Wars fans are about to learn.
I mean, it would make sense still to introduce another prominent Mandalorian character, because it looks like there's going to be a bunch in Season 3.
I think Rook Cast is the least likely. Sabine is, I'm like, come on, that's going to happen. But for Rook Cast, I think she's at the bottom. I'd put Finn Rao in the middle. I could see him popping up.
Reverend Trigster says, rewatched the other day and can confirm last we saw of Rook Cast, she was under arrest and being led away with Saxon.
That's like, my first thought was like, oh, she's still in jail. But then my second thought was the Empire just let Gar Saxon be an Imperial super commando. So she's probably not in jail anymore. But I don't know what they would have done with her. Or maybe she was unwilling to bend the knee to the Empire, and Gar Saxon was like, I'll do it.
I'll do it. Jamie Dorr, thank you for the next super chat. Hi, have you two thought of doing a special effects shot with your phones, trying to make any of your sets look like they're flying, like ILM? Can you do that with phones?
I don't see why not. We've got a green screen.
Oh yeah.
Just take the phone, buy it. Yeah. Could do that. Maybe we'll do that with the Razor Crest.
Who's gonna hold it? You let
Not
me.
you.
You'll let me hold it.
Nope. You'll
Once
hold
it's-
the phone.
Once it's done being built.
Certainly not you. I don't know. What could we? I'm not moving that again ever.
It would be fun with the snow speeder.
Yeah,
That seems like a good
that'd
size.
be a good one. The A-wing would be a good one too. I'm never moving the Falcon again. Star Destroyer's on a stand. I guess I could mask that out.
The Star Destroyer is so heavy.
That too.
That one. Do you think that one's heavier than the Falcon, or you think the Falcon's heavier? Let's pick them up and
Nope.
see.
Nope. We'll never know. I don't know. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Maybe we'll do that with the Razor Crest when it's done. Because that's that whole story of John Knoll just decided to do that with their own Razor Crest model, and then they put it in the show.
And then they're like, wait a second, that
Yeah,
looks
why
pretty
not?
dope.
Be like, we can do that. We can work at ILM. And have like this crazy effect shot, and then we drop it in the middle of
Oh
it.
god. Well, then it's in its final form.
Yeah, it's true.
Zach Nichols, thanks for the super chat and for being a big mega fan.
Thanks, Zach.
What live action show of this year are y'all most excited about? I think mine is Ahsoka.
I think mine's Mando, but I tend to just be excited about what's next. That's just how my brain operates.
Yeah, I think mine is Mando. Obviously, I'm excited to see Grogu again. I think about him every day. But aside from that, I'm pretty excited for Skeleton Crew because some of the main kids are going to be aliens, right?
We
that-
don't know for sure.
Not
It
confirmed.
kind of looked like, I mean, all we have is some art and one shot of Jude Law to go off of, but some of the art looked like there would be alien kids, yeah.
So that's exciting to have more like alien species as the main cast. But I also love the idea of like a Stranger Things-esque show for Star Wars.
I do too. And part of what's drawing me to Skeleton Crew is that we know so little about it. I like that. Because, I mean, then your brain just starts to fill in blanks of what it could be.
Sure.
And I gotta make sure I'm not too attached to that. But
Speculate responsibly.
uh-huh. But I do think it's gonna be part of the Mandoverse, but it sounds like it'll be different. But I think Ahsoka will have a different feel as well. I think it'll be more Force-centric, more mystical.
Jane Dalton has the next super chat. Thanks, Jane. You're in the ISB in between episodes 3 and 4. Who are your 5 most wanted?
I mean, Luke Skywalker has to be one
Luke
of
is
them.
always up there. His picture's old and dusty.
I kind of don't want to include Han because I think that would make him upset.
He would see the list at some point and be like, hey,
Actually, I might be pulling that from a comic.
why am I not up there?
I think there's a moment where Luke and Leia and Han see the bounties on all of them, and Luke and Leia have very high bounties, and Han is just kind of there. I'm either making that up or that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Like it's not original to me, so.
Leia wouldn't be on there in between 3 and 4, I don't
Yeah,
think.
she would. She would have been on there first. Oh my goodness. My
What?
math is dumb. My math is dumb. I was thinking between 4 and 5.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Oh gosh. Okay, now we're opening it up to potential Jedi and stuff. Do we think Obi-Wan would be on the list? Because I'm sure Vader would want to put him high up there, but that's more of an Inquisitor thing. Does the ISB care?
Oh, yeah. I don't think Jedi would be on there, actually. Like, if there are wanted Jedi, you're right. I feel like the Inquisitors would have that list, and the ISB would not stand a chance to even...
I feel like the ISB
Capture.
would be like, I think we found a Jedi, we'll let you handle it.
Yeah.
Huh. So Saw Gerrera seems like he was a problem almost immediately for the Empire. According to the Bad Batch, episode 1, he was like, I see the writing on the wall, and we're going to go into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they wanted him assassinated from day 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Saw has to be on the list.
Hondo.
Just cuz.
He's always on the list.
Yeah. Is he in the top 5? Top 5 most
I don't
wanted.
know. Maybe just because the ISB want to hang out with him
Oh, okay.
and hear all of his kooky stories.
At first, he was wanted, but like for crimes, but now he's wanted for chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's tough. Like,
There's such
early. I'm trying to start early.
there's such a huge gap of time there that
Would the Bad Batch be on there?
Bale, would he be on there?
I don't think so, because they knew where he was. They just couldn't move against him until they had the Death Star, or at least that's what they felt. So he may have been on the list of, like, if we can get some solid dirt on him, that would be good, but since he was more like, he and Mon Mothma, I mean, the ISB were clearly interested in Mon Mothma as well, but I don't think they had
Oh yeah,
enough to say she is number 1 most wanted, especially publicly.
but she might be on the list, the secret list.
The secret list, yeah. There's a secret list and there's a public list. I guess I'm thinking public list.
Luthen, I assume, would be on there at some point.
Axis, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Cassian may...
B2 Emo is definitely on
yeah,
there.
just for hugs and to make sure he's okay.
He's a menace to society. Also, we want
He's
to
a menace to my heart.
we want to cuddle him.
Well, the Survivor trailer said that Cal was the Empire's most wanted.
So Iron Elephant Productions in chat says Saw Gerrera, Luthen, Kanan, Hera, Cham Syndulla.
Oh, Cham's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cham's a great one.
He makes sense. Would Kanan and Hera be on there?
Hera, I think so. I mean, once Kanan pulled his lightsaber out on Kessel, and what's his face? Callus saw it, and he was an ISB agent, so yeah, I could see him being on there. But Cham is another one. Like, I'm trying to stick way back. People who were a problem for a long, long time, and Cham would have been someone very similar to Saw Gerrera. Mm-hmm. That they're like, we want to get rid of him, and we just can't find him.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other ones, but there are probably a ton of potential people. I'm excited to see where the ISB goes in season 2 of Andor.
It's so wild to me that the ISB is now like a, I don't know if I want to call it a household name, but just that my parents know what the ISB are. It's crazy.
Crazy.
That used to be one of the signs that you maybe knew too much about Star Wars, and now it's common knowledge. That's exciting.
Hi, Hope.
Hey, Hope.
Just sliding in to say hello and Happy New Year. Looking forward to another year of your content.
Happy New Year, Hope.
Happy New Year. Where are we at here? Callum Jackson has the next super chat. Are there any characters you're hoping to see in Battle Scars / Jedi Survivor that we don't already know about? Love the content. Hoping you're both well.
Does Marin count?
Thank you. We are doing well. I would expect Marin to count for sure. Obviously, like we talk about this in the Q&A on Saturday of some books that we're excited for. I'm very excited for Battle Scars because of Marin.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Marin's in the game, so I will not count her, but characters that could show up that we don't know about. I mean, just someone from the ISB would be kind of cool, and we know that there's some senator involved. Like, he didn't pop up in the second trailer at all. He was all in the first trailer. I hope we're not done with the Inquisitors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't see no body for Ninth Sister, so
Didn't see nobody.
ain't no body.
Ain't nobody.
So I think she might still be around, and that could be something where A, we don't know her fate from the comics, and B, if she pops back up, you know she's pissed at you. So that would be fun.
Didn't we cut off one of her limbs, though?
Yeah, we cut off her arm
Okay.
or hand.
Well, that's classic Star Wars.
Classic. And she was already missing a leg.
Man, I had a name in my head and I just blanked. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Who else?
Jedi Survivor that we don't know. Well, we're gonna see Coruscant, so there's a bunch of potential people in there. Let's throw Dex in there.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
If not an actual appearance by him, it would be fun to walk by the diner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want another like surviving Jedi to pop up or not. I'll definitely be thrilled if it happens and very hyped, but I kind of like being the only one, the only special boy running around the galaxy.
Special boy.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, you know what would be cool?
Who are you thinking of?
I think I can't remember who I thought of first, but Barasafi would be a fun one.
Yeah, that's just like
a lot of people were like thinking that that's who the second sister was gonna be. And nope.
that was one of my favorite interview moments.
Oh,
was when
yeah.
we got to sit down with the narrative lead for Fallen Order, and I prefaced it I was like, I know you can't answer this question, but is that Barasafi under there? That's a popular fan theory. And he just went, nope. And I was like, oh.
Wow, we got a straight answer
Yeah.
from someone.
But he was like, we don't want to lead people down the path of false hope. And he's like, it's a brand new character, but it's a good guess to say it's Barris. So like, we just don't want people to get their hopes up.
Yeah.
No, and I appreciated that.
Literal table 756 in chat says seventh sister, which I am always down for because Sarah Michelle Gellar voices the seventh sister. So yes, let's do that.
That'd be fun to get her back for that. Anyone else? I don't know.
I keep thinking of people from like Rebels. but-
Right. Well, the first game surprised me so much that I just kind of don't want to think about it. I want to be surprised. I think we knew about Saw Gerrera going in, but just the reveal that we're going to Ilum, like, I was so excited for that. And then when we go to the Fortress Inquisitorius and it shows that landing sequence, and I was like, there's a lava planet back there. And I was like, what does that mean? And then Vader shows up and I'm like, okay, yeah, we were in the Mustafar system. Like, I want to keep those surprises.
I can't remember. Is Mother Talzin like for real dead? Like super dead? Or could she pop back up?
I want to say yes. She died in the Maul Son of Dathomir comic, which takes place during the Clone Wars, but she's a Night Sister, you know? Like, who's to say?
I just want more cool...
Maul used to be dead as well.
Right,
so.
yeah. I want more cool Night Sister stuff. Because I'm obsessed with Marin, so...
Like, yes, I want a lot more Marin. I don't ever want to go back to Dathomir.
Is it too hard?
Yes, it's scary.
You play it on hard mode, though. I played on story mode, and I had a great time. I mean, it was scary when the dead zombie people chase you.
Again, like...
But it's such a cool planet.
Such a good moment. They did a great job in Fallen Order of mixing new stuff with familiar stuff.
Yeah, I agree. No one's ever really gone, especially witches, says Matthew
I mean,
Lang.
yeah, that's fair.
That I'm gonna make that a bumper sticker. Crash Punk has the next super chat. Thank you so much, Crash Punk. Speaking of ND, what are the chances of seeing a live-action Dr. Aphra? Also, Happy New Year. Here's to a great 2023. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I would love to see something where Dr. Aphra and Luthen cross
Oh yeah,
paths.
you brought that up, and that was a really good.
Like, they could cross paths because he has his day job of being this crazy art dealer, and she could be someone who oftentimes procures things for him. So I think that would be a great connection.
I really like that idea. I don't think she's going to be in Andor Season 2 or anything. It would be a fun... Oh, that'd be such a fun little mention, though.
Can you imagine?
Of, like...
People would go bonkers.
Just if Clea said, we got another order coming in from Aphra.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a little thing like that would be fun. But
Now I want them to do that just so they can see the chaos that would happen on the internet, and then maybe that would lead to a live action Dr. Aphra.
Yeah. It's one of those things where right now I think I want Alyssa Wong to stay in control of the story, but also she is telling that story in between Empire and Jedi right now, so there is time to jump back into her past. Who knows? I would really, really love to see live action Aphra, because she is such a fun, chaotic character. How are we doing on time? Because I just finished a bag.
It is 6:53. We still got some super chats to go.
Well, this bag doesn't look very big, so we'll this seems like a lot of bags. So I think it's
there are a lot of small bags.
A lot of smaller bags instead of like the Falcon, where it was one giant bag and there were 16 of them. I'm pretty. There have to be 30 something bags in this. Because only one box had 19 small bags, numbered bags, whatever.
I'll wait
Why?
for you to stop making noise. He got so mad when I put up our Lego little gingerbread houses.
I didn't get so mad.
Because I just picked them up and put them in a bin.
I was just like, oh,
I did
okay,
it.
that's how we're storing them. Okay.
I did it carefully.
I trust you.
I don't know what else to do with them. They're not seasonally appropriate anymore.
Last year, I just put them in the guest room.
Oh yeah, our guest room is starting to fill up with random Lego sets. AJ Empire has the next super chat here. If Palp owned clones and Seps, why did they fight?
Oh. And
Separatists.
Seps, okay. Because he wanted them to. Because he wanted chaos. It's the Game of Thrones Littlefinger speech where he says chaos is a ladder, where if you've got a galaxy at war, you can manipulate things easier. If you can point to that group over there and be like, they need to be defeated or they're gonna kill us, and by the way, we need a big army and like lots of security, lots of law and order to make sure things are okay. It's easier to convince people of that if they have someone to be afraid of. So even though he was manipulating both sides, that was his goal.
I like that explanation. But I also like to imagine Palpatine in his office with like a clone figure and a separatist figure, and he's just like, fight.
I mean, yeah, like he got bored with playing with his action figures, and he was like, I'm just gonna do this for
He's
real.
like, wait a second, I can do this in real life.
Yeah.
Solid Brick Studios said, y'all are classy pouring your own beers at home. So this is a TikTok thing that I saw, but like,
I got mine in my can.
you have it in your can still, but I've seen people talk about like when you pour out a beer, it releases some of the chemical, is it carbon carbon dioxide. What makes it bubbly?
Oh. The stuff that's in soda. Carbonation.
Carbonation.
I was like, not carbohydrates.
There's something happens when you pour out a beer and you let it air out a little bit and you let the foam come out. I don't know how to explain it, but
Mollie's afraid of getting bubble gut, so she
basically, yeah, I feel like sometimes beer hurts my stomach, so I've found that pouring it out in a glass helps with that. I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's all in my head, but
I do think it helps.
Whatever gets her done.
I do think it helps, but whatever. I'll fart later. It's fine.
It doesn't make me fart. It just hurts my I feel like bloated afterwards. And Maddie Gunner says, this is why I only drink Appletinis. What are we doing wrong? We got to drink more Appletinis.
We were watching Willow last night, and they were drinking like this weirdly colored liquid, and one of the characters said, I don't know why it's colored this way, but it tastes good. And you said, it's you, pointing to me. You're like, you every time you order an Appletini.
I don't know why it's this color, but it tastes delicious. It tastes good. By the way, I'm loving Willow. I finally got caught up on the show a couple nights ago, and then we watched the new one yesterday. I love it so much. It's so charming, and it feels like the kind of show that has just been desperately missing in the rotation. I don't know. It's really good.
I like it. It's a enjoyable watch. I like how much you like it. I'm glad you like it so much.
Donnie Rand sent in 2 super chats. One I think was just a sticker, and then the next one says, "Glad to see y'all building and streaming again. Thank you. We're glad to be back."
Yeah, just took a little holiday break.
Took a nice long break, and like we said at the start, we were like, "Are we gonna be super awkward getting back on streams? Do we even remember how to do this?" We've just been. We just like let it all go in December. We were sleeping in really late, staying up really late, sitting on the couch all day. New Year's Day, we literally sat on the couch nearly all day and watched Two Towers and Return of the King extended editions.
That was a good day.
That was a good day. We've done all 3 extended edition movies in one day before, but I feel like that's a little too much for me.
Honestly, that was kind of a rough day. That was years and years ago, and we had a bunch of friends over. We did the whole, like, we had breakfast, and then we watched the first half of Fellowship. Then we had second breakfast, Fellowship. We did all the meals, and we did all the movies, and it took all day, and people were asleep or exhausted by the end.
Yeah, we tried to do all the Hobbit meals, and we were drinking, so after Two Towers, everyone was kind of full and sleepy, and yeah. Andy about Willow says, the last episode felt a bit all over the place for me, but was beautiful. The rest of the season has been super fun, though. I kind of agree. I don't know what it was about the last episode, but it felt like they were just doing the same thing over and over, and it was a lot of like training montage stuff, but we did get some really special moments. And Julian Glover was in it, so that's a huge win.
I did like the way that episode looked. I mean, Mollie, you pointed out, it's probably so many of those shots were on the volume, but I felt like they really executed on it well.
Where were they supposed to be?
The Shattered Sea. I don't know what that is.
Okay. The name of that does line up with how it looked, so that checks out.
And you loved Kenneth.
I did love Kenneth. Oh, I hope we see Kenneth again, and I completely forgive what's his name for letting him go.
Oh yeah, he made the right choice. Graydon and Borman are my two favorites of the characters.
Borman is hilarious.
I really
that
like Borman.
scene of him under the waterfall.
Oh yeah, I was like, this is great.
Flipping his hair around and trying to be a model.
We saw a lot of them at the Andor premiere, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't say hi to him. Like,
oh, yeah.
Willow hadn't come out yet, so I didn't know what to expect, but I was like, oh, he's in Willow. And I should have just said...
Just starstruck.
Yeah. I should have just said hi. And then I would have been like, I said hi to that dude. That would be my story. It's not very exciting, but...
Brian Barrett in the chat, is the Willow movie required viewing for the series? I kind of think it is.
I would say, yeah. They do a good job of covering... It's just the
one movie, though.
Yeah, it's a 2-ish hour movie. They do a good job of covering everything you need to know in the series, but just watch it. Like, it's a fun movie.
Wikipedia's here.
Wikipedia's here. Oh,
Hi,
wow.
Wikipedia.
Hey, Wikipedia. Oh, I'll get my act together.
Thanks for being you, helping us out all the time. Where are we here? Oh, Garth McMurray has the next super chat. Thank you, Garth. Whenever I see graffiti in live action shows, I wonder if Sabine did it. That's a good point. Is there any verification if she did any graffiti that we've seen recently?
I'm trying to remember. I know when the season 2 Mando kind of art style for the posters was coming out, and it was very graffiti inspired, and people kept wondering if Sasha Banks would be Sabine. I think partly because of that. But no, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that was like that was Sabine, unless they could have mixed a Starbird in there or something somewhere.
There could have been one, yeah, anywhere along the path stuff.
I don't think Sabine was involved in the path.
But it was a bunch of...
She would have been pretty young at that point.
Messages and drawings. Maybe someone else put it up there.
I think those were all Jedi.
Fine. I can't even remember any specific graffiti that we've really seen recently.
Mostly what I can think of is that season 2 planet at the very beginning of season 2. It was just very graffiti covered.
There might have been some on Dayu, but we'd have to
true.
look really close.
But she would have been pretty young at that point too. I'm trying to remember. I think she was born before the end of the Clone Wars, but not that much. She would have been like 10, 11, maybe 12 when Kenobi was taking place.
Garth says, one was a stormtrooper helmet with a red X over it that screamed Sabine to me.
I don't remember when that was.
I don't know, she likes to use a lot of color. But either way, I hope either it's in Ahsoka or Mando, I hope that she has like a scene where she gets to like paint something.
Oh yeah, like it's such an integral part of her character. We saw that the mural from Rebels is in Ahsoka. Also, just the fact that Thrawn is coming back, and that is one of my favorite Thrawn moments in Star Wars Rebels, is when he uses Sabine's art to figure something out, because that's what Thrawn does. Is he's the art historian, and he loves studying cultures and figuring out what that will inform for their strategy. So the fact that he was able to do that in animation, I would like to see that happen again in live action. I like that a lot.
Kyle Sips, sorry if I said your name wrong, has the next super chat. Thoughts on the levelers and how an quote-unquote animal has that effect on the Force and Force users? Would we call the leveler an animal?
I think so. I think it's a creature.
I mean, it's pretty sentient.
Is it? I mean, we just don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We don't know enough about them.
I think we're going to learn a lot more about them in Wave 2 of Phase 2 of the High Republic. Because we're going to... I think Planet X is their home world.
Ooh. That sounds very, like, Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah.
Just the name Planet X.
I think they just didn't know what to call it. And they're like, we're all racing to Planet X. So I think Path of Vengeance and Quest for Planet X are probably going to give us some information on the leveler.
I like the idea that a long time ago,
How long?
that more animals were in tune with the Force, kind of like the levelers are. Because, like, even though we don't know much about them, I think they were different at the start and became what they are now. And I feel like the Jedi have something to do with it. But there were some animals mentioned in... Was it Dooku Jedi Lost that were, like, dark side animals?
Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about.
Those sounded really cool. But just
I do remember what you're talking about, but not the specifics of it.
ages ago, when, like, the Force itself was stronger, maybe,
What's going on?
it would make sense that animals were more connected to it.
I think we're going to get some answers. But I like that idea that maybe they were once not some twisted, crazy creature, eldritch horror thing, but I don't know. I haven't read Wave 2 yet, so I don't have any answers. I just...
Wave 2 of Phase 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't start until April, I don't think.
I need to catch up. I'm not... Something about Phase 2 is just not grabbing my attention so far.
I kind of feel the same way. It's not as exciting to me as Phase 1 was. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to... I'm hopeful that Wave 2 kind of brings it all home. And B, I do think it'll make Phase 3 better. And then Phase 3 will be kind of like the best of both worlds, building off of what just happened in Phase 1, and also everything we learned from Phase 2.
Yeah. All right, we gotta catch up on some of these because I feel like we're way behind. Oh, okay. Elliot Finn has the next super chat. Happy New Year's. Which Star Wars books are you most excited for? This is a whole...
Literally a Q&A question that we just filmed, so we'll just say it word for word, the answer. And thank you for the card, Elliot.
Yes. Thank you so much for the card. But yeah, we do talk about this in the Q&A, but what are the LEGO streams if not sneak peeks into what the Q&A
If not
is?
the Q&A enduring.
Hi, Jill. Oh, Jill sent me a picture. Did you see the Disney Parks thing?
The Grogu thing, the lights,
Yeah.
World of Lights or whatever.
It's
I
so
did see
cute.
that. Okay, so we know of 4 books coming out. We have the Wave 2 High Republic books, Cataclysm, Quest for Planet X, Path of Vengeance. Battle Scars is what's coming next at the beginning of March. Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade is June? It's at some point. Okay, so that's 5 books. I have to imagine From a Certain Point of View is going to come out for Return of the Jedi on its 40th anniversary. And I believe somewhere was said that Wave 3 of the High Republic will begin in November. So that's probably 3 more books there. Or at least 2.
I think Battle Scars, just because it is going to probably have Marin stuff in it, I'm the most excited for. But Rise of the Red Blade is very intriguing to me too, because I have loved every Delilah Dawson book that she's done for Star Wars so far. They've all been really high up on my list. So those are probably the 2 that I'm most looking forward to. And the first, whatever the first book of Phase 3 of the High Republic is.
I think that was basically our answer. I think I am, if I'm totally honest, most excited for November and Phase 3. Because Phase 1 has some of my favorite Star Wars books ever. But obviously I'm psyched for Battle Scars to get like a little couple weeks early preview of Survivor and what they did in between the games. Delilah Dawson can do no wrong in my eyes. She writes amazing Star Wars.
And especially Star Wars women. So I'm excited for that.
I think she has self-proclaimed that she loves to write violent women.
Yeah.
So Phasma Vimerati, Asajj Ventress, she did a short story on. Bazine Natal was my introduction to her. That was like, okay, oh yeah, I just remembered that. I think Delilah Dawson was my very first interview on this channel because she goes to Dragon Con. And in 2015, 2015, I think I just said, would you be willing to sit and talk about Star Wars? And she said yes. But the Bazine Natal story, I did a video about that was like our first viral YouTube video that felt really good.
That was about Kylo Ren getting Vader's helmet?
That's my theory that still has not been confirmed, and Delilah will not confirm it for me.
She was probably told that she
I'm sure she was. One year, that NDA is gonna stop, and she'll be able to answer the question. But yeah, there's really not a book that's been announced so far that I'm not excited for, but I think most excited for is the untitled, unannounced, fully Phase 3 novel that will kick things back off.
Ken Plume has the next super chat. A donation towards letting Mollie hold the Falcon.
Give that up, Ken. Give it up now, I'm going to tell you.
I've held it once.
I don't want to hold it. It's not a thing about who holds it. No one can hold that. If it moves, pieces are going to slide off of it.
It's not that I want to hold it. It's just that it makes him so nervous that I tease him about it. But maybe one day I'll hold it again.
No.
But I remember holding it up to help you get it on the stand that it's on right now, and that was a nightmare because pieces were just falling off left and right.
If I had some level of thought in my head other than panic, I would have turned the camera on, because that was...
We were both of our hands were full.
That was drama at its highest level of just pieces sliding off of it and trying to get this, like, it was a Lego stand that I built, and then trying to get it all attached, and then having to put everything back together. Ugh. What a day.
What a day. Solid Brick Studios says, welcome to my life.
Yeah, it's every day for you.
I mean, yeah, we decided to get a stand for it and try to put it on a stand instead of displaying it. Because we wanted to put it up here. There's not enough room to lay it down flat. That would have been the easier way, though. Buy that coffee table that you can just slide it into.
That would have been cool. I should have just done the smart thing and got a plastic stand.
Yeah, they make those acrylic stands.
Yeah, then you just boop, put it on.
Boop.
But no, I was like, the Lego one probably makes more sense. Live and learn.
Bakey has the next super chat here. Thanks, Bakey. Will Rampart commission a secret team to hunt down the Bad Batch to hide their survival from Tarkin? Will he use bounty hunters?
So I'm curious. Okay, I like the bounty hunters idea just because he'd want to keep it on the DL. Mm-hmm. I'm mostly worried about Crosshair right now. That I assume Crosshair lied to Rampart and said the Bad Batch is dead, and so now Rampart's like, huh.
Wait a second.
Yeah, wait a second.
You're
now.
in trouble, mister.
Put you in timeout.
I'm gonna take away your aiming thing.
Oh, his little targeting thing?
Yeah.
I thought you meant his gun.
That too.
So, but I like the bounty hunter idea.
I do too. Rampart commission a secret team to hunt down. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would like to see bounty hunters show up in Bad Batch. Which bounty hunters do you think we could see?
I skipped so much stuff. It's not a big deal, but I'm just like, what? Which bounty hunters? I mean, Boba Fett would still be a fun one to include in this era.
Would Bosk be around?
Sure.
Let's throw Bosk in there.
Throw Bosk in.
I like him. He's the only one that takes his shoes off.
Do you think Fennec Shand will be back this season?
Probably
nice
not.
robot chicken joke.
I doubt it. She's...
Really?
I don't know. The way that she got involved in the first one, I don't see her wanting to get involved with them again.
What about Cad Bane?
He probably feels like he's too good for it, but if the money's right...
Like, my whole character model theory is that, well, they made a new model for Cad Bane, they made a new model for Fennec Shand, so they're probably going to want to reuse them.
Sure. Aura Singh is a good one. IG88 says chat.
That Aura Singh would be fun, and then just to have the job on... Oh, no, that didn't happen on Fallujah, but just to see someone...
That was something... that was what Lando did.
Right, but have some person accidentally make her fall off a cliff and be like, is that Beckett?
Is that Beckett? Going back for a second, Solid Brick Studios says a friend of theirs made an awesome display stand for the Razor Crest that it makes the ship look 10 times cooler. Is that even possible?
I think if you did a video on that, I think I saw it. Or I do think I've seen a picture of a stand. And I feel like it was on Solid Bricks, but I might be making that up.
I don't have a ton of room up there, so I don't know where we're going to put this one.
I think we swap this one out with the AT-AT. I mean, I like it, but I think I like the Razor Crest more.
Yeah, keep it all ships up there.
But yeah, we might need a stand to hold it sideways so it can fit.
Imbo in his sick hat.
I do miss Imbo.
I want to see Imbo and Cad Bane fight over hats. Dragoness Prime, thanks for the next super chat. My partner and I were talking about Star Wars the other night, and they said, finally, we're a couple that knows Star Wars. And all I could think of was y'all. Aw. That's cute.
It's always fun when you start to pull someone into the quagmire of all of this Star Wars content, but when they're excited about it and you find that thing that you can connect on, like my best man in our wedding did not grow up liking Star Wars, but we went and saw The Force Awakens, and I remember walking out of that, and the first thing he said to me was, I get it.
Aww,
like, I get it now.
I get it.
That warmed my heart.
Sometimes stuff just clicks into place. And I remember early on when we were dating, the first time the conversation came up about playing Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. And you said something like, oh, I would crush the game. Like, it wouldn't even be fair. And I was like, what? You're that confident? And we had another friend who was also very confident. And I was like, what? You can't know everything about Star Wars. So we played it one night, and you crushed.
I don't think Jeremy got to play.
Yeah. And
Sorry, Jeremy.
That started...
We're still friends.
That started my obsession with your obsession with trivia, which I was just like, go on. I wanted you to read every card in that game.
I got lucky. I don't know how many
Well, it was that, and it was Guitar Hero.
I don't know how many. Yeah, I've got very lucky.
He was really good at Guitar Hero.
You were very impressed by the two things I was really good at in college. I don't know how many people that would have worked. How many other people that would have worked on.
I am sure there's dozens of us out there. But yeah, so now here we are, however many years later, and I know some trivia too.
You know lots of trivia. I pulled you in. Pulled you into the quagmire. You're stuck now.
I wanted in. I wanted to know.
That's true.
I was like, teach me this dark magic. It was funny too.
The essential guide to characters.
When we started going to Dragon Con too, we started doing the Dragon Con Star Wars trivia, and you were like a celebrity there.
Not at first.
Not at first, but like after a couple years, and I was like, wait a second, I want in. I can do this too.
I do remember that. I mean, like, I started doing the trivia in 2012, and I was doing okay. I was in the top 10 every time, but I wasn't doing amazing. But I think it was 2016 that someone recognized me. Yeah, I think it was 2016. I was going to check my score and see if I made it into the top 10, and someone else was checking their score, and they turned and looked at me and went, "Oh God." And they were like, "I have no chance." They beat me that year. They got into second place. I was in third place. And I was like, "I've never won, so don't say that." But that was a weird moment where someone recognized me specifically for trivia purposes.
And now you've won twice.
It'll never be enough.
And I've not won, but I've gotten close.
Second place? No, third place.
Third place.
Yeah, right.
You were second place.
Yeah.
I think that was a fluke because it was like 2021, so it was still kind of closer to the pandemic lockdown. There weren't as many people there that are normally there.
Whatever. Third place. Third place
Still counts. I'll take it.
An entire convention full of nerds.
I'll take it. And we didn't even study. Because there's no way to study for a test like that. It's all Star Wars.
Our lives are studying.
Yeah. All right. It's getting to be close to our dinner time.
I'm almost done with this bag. So.
Let me go through some more of these super chats. Carlisle, the Cinephile, has the next one. Do you think a Clone Wars / Bad Batch style animated series about Indiana Jones would work? Or do you think that'd be too much work for Dave Filoni?
Well, he doesn't have to be in charge of that.
No.
He can pass that off to someone else. I would watch it. I don't know I think I'd probably change the animation style. I wish I knew the name of the animator that created this, but someone, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, made like a what if there was an Indiana Jones animated series in the 90s or something, and he just made the intro for it, and it's so cool. So I think I'd want that, just like a 2D animated kind of thing.
I think I'm loving how the Bad Batch Season 2 looks so far. It looks gorgeous, but I'm kind of itching for a new animation style.
I think that's fair.
But I do think the Clone Wars style would work for an indie show.
I'm sure it would.
But I feel like if they do a new indie show, they would do a young indie series for Disney Plus, like a live action one.
I don't know. I think animation gets around that in all that clever way, but then I think people would be more accepting of an animated indie voiced by someone else instead of another live action indie played by someone else.
I guess.
But I would take whatever. The rumors of a Ravenwood show.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I'm in.
I don't really get the stigma around casting someone as a young someone else. Just do it. Fans will get over it.
Yeah. They will.
Jeff GL of 2814 has the next one here. Quote, I said hi to that guy at Dragon Con, end quote, is what I'm going to say to myself every time Captain Pike shows up on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Huh?
I think we're going way back to when I said I could have said that I said hi to Borman.
Oh yeah.
But, oh yeah, there's so many people at Dragon Con that I've been like, said hi to him. Mm-hmm. and it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Feels good.
Yeah, you never know who you'll see at Dragon Con. Ben Potter has the next one. After being single for a while after a divorce, I started dating and found an amazing lady who likes Star Wars, and we sometimes talk about Star Wars. How wonderful. That is wonderful.
It's
Yay.
the best.
Next up, a YouTube channel, live streams, Lego sets, books, comics.
Takes over your life. Be careful.
Be careful. It can get crazy. But Star Wars keeps it real. Jane has another super chat here. Did Masamita ever lose the vote for vice chair multiple times?
I haven't been super keeping up with everything going on, but I do keep seeing tweets about it on Twitter, and I laugh. I'm just like,
About,
nah.
yeah.
Kevin McCarthy. No, it seems like Masamita had no trouble. I mean, when you're not actually holding elections, I think you can get around a lot of that crap. Oh, thank God. Man, I made it so close to... I thought I'd completely missed a piece.
That would have been shocking.
And then I inadvertently called democracy crap. I didn't mean that.
Oh, Barbie Babe asked a question in chat that is going to be in the Q&A on
Oh, really?
Saturday.
we can give Barbie Babe a preview if they want.
Your question about Resistance characters is in our Q&A on Saturday, so stay tuned for that.
I'll say that I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
That's basically our answer. Is that Resistance sometimes gets treated like the black sheep of Star Wars animation, but there are several characters I think would make sense to appear in the Bad Batch. It would be cool to see them.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do with this? I think I see. Wait.
Did you have any more Masamita thoughts before I moved on?
No, I think that, being part of a fascist government, you just... Oh, he won the vote again. And he's
rascal.
Obviously... Yeah, he's someone that Palpatine knows how to control. Mm-hmm. So he just stayed in power.
Plus he's got that cool staff. And he's very intimidating. Until he sings karaoke, I bet.
What?
No one's intimidating after they sing karaoke. Unless they're a really good singer, and then it's like, okay, you can't be everything. Garthik Murray has the next 2 super chats, so I will get into those now. I shared images of Sabine's graffiti compared to graffiti seen in The Mandalorian Season 2 under your tweet for this show. Could it be her work? Okay, so pictures.
I doubt she did all the graffiti on that planet, because it's a lot, but who knows? Did I do this right? This feels wrong.
I'll let you look at the pictures of the graffiti. And then Garth also says, I would be lazy doing the Lego Razor Crest and just dump out the box and say, it's the Razor Crest after Chapter 14, the tragedy. Yes.
Yeah.
If we happened to ever, heaven forbid, we drop this set after it's fully built, but then if we do, then it's just in its final form and we say, oh well.
Okay, I definitely see what you're getting at. Especially like that. Okay, so there's that stormtrooper with the red over it, and then you can kind of see that in other places. But then this one is an aqualish with a line over it, and I don't think Sabine would do that.
No.
But some of the stormtroopers on this wall, kind of look similar.
I bet her art style probably got copied a lot.
Okay, I think that's right. I just feel like...
What is that?
It's like an engine block or something. I don't know.
It has, like,
Why are
a
you
little-
immediately moving it?
I want to know what this piece is.
A little cable.
It's a cable.
I'm just kidding. Thought you were gonna rip it all off.
What does this do?
I'll never forget that that's the first thing you did with the Star Destroyer. You were like, does this piece move? And you just pulled something off of it.
I want to know if stuff moves. What's the point of just sitting there? Bill Devers has the last super chat. Do you think we'll get a Rey action figure with her yellow saber anytime soon? I feel like it should exist, but haven't seen one.
I'm shocked we haven't yet.
God, I hope so. It's so lame that she gets her own brand new, awesome, new color lightsaber in the very end of that movie, and no figures exist of her with it.
I'm shocked. Like, I don't keep up with action figure news all that much. So I would have just assumed that, like, yeah, obviously that exists.
And it might be because she hasn't really used it. It just appeared for like a split second at the end, but I want it.
I know.
That Black Series lightsaber hilt is like one of the coolest that they've ever done, because it's got
It
the
actually
little
has the flick.
It's got the flick switch. It's got the little triangle pieces at the top. It's really cool. But this is what we have so far. I'll let you show the audience. I'm not allowed to touch.
I think it's the floor. We're basically, I mean, like all of these, we're building kind of the shell.
Mm-hmm. How many bags is this?
This was 2 bags.
2 bags. Okay.
So yeah, like nice, like smaller bags. That's nice. It's not as daunting as dumping out one of the Millennium Falcon bags and being like, oh, there are pieces everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's LEGO stream. It's past 7:30. We're hungry. We're going to go eat dinner. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, asking us questions that we're happy to answer. Got a good mix of indie, Star Wars, other stuff.
Little Willow, we covered all the Lucasfilm bases.
Yeah, good stuff.
We'll definitely be back on Wednesday for the Clone Zone with Mesa Windu from TikTok. And at some point, I'm going to start another stream of Fallen Order to get ready for Survivor.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it'll start Tuesday. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to set a date yet. I'm just going to play it by ear, but soon. I want to go back through it.
Yeah. We should go back through it at least once just to get ready for the next one. But next time you see us, we'll be talking about Bad Batch next week on Wednesday, but then we'll be back here on Thursday doing this.
Keep on going.
So thanks again, everyone. Thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. We really appreciate it. And we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.